Hello friends, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host. Yeah, and I hope you're doing well, mate. I genuinely do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, baby. Here in the Stamford Bridge studio with the ghosts of wins, trophies, and goals past walking around. Mia Bingo has begun, by the way. When will this kitten get kicked out of the office? Today we're discussing loads of things. Reece James injury. What's going on? Oh, dear Lord, what's going on? Where are Chelsea going to move to when we build the new stadium? Is it going to be the Cottage, Wembley, Twickenham, or a mixture? And a look at the new kit, or a mocked up kit by an artist, published by Footy Headlines. Which, of course, we know if Footy Headlines has published it, it's the kit, essentially. So, lots to get into. Here's the cat. Meow, meow, meow. Hey, Mia, what should they do on this channel? Well, they should like and subscribe. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, she's clearly loving this. Like, subscribe, etc., etc. And you know what? She's chewing cables. We're 1 minute 12 in. Mia Bingo is finished. See you, cat. You little rat. Right, let's go. So, let's start off with the kits, because why the ruddy heck not? We'll talk about the Reece James injury scenario, situation, and the stadium in just a little bit. But, check out this image now. Ping! Yes. Artist Road 1 kits. Although it says, looks like kilts a little bit. No, it says kits. Yes. First kit, the home kit, the away kit, which looks pretty, look man, I'm not going to sound very like vintage old geezer here, but on first appearance, I like them. And this often happens where you look at new kit designs and you go, ooh, and sometimes they're terrible, and sometimes they're good. But let's see the home kit. I like the colour, I like the slight change of accents, if indeed this is accurate. The fact that we're bringing back the blue and gold for the foist kit. I like the trim around the arms. I wouldn't have minded a little white collar, actually. I think there's some white underneath the arms. That looks a bit peculiar. But that's cool. The away kit is pretty radical as well. That's the kind of kit we'd be making for first kits recently. But I like the white badge. I like to be honest, dude, I think the design is pretty cool. And even the mint kit, the third minty green kit, I think we could do bits, and if we like a good team playing in that mint kit, I think people would take notice. They'd be like, who's that fresh team scoring goals and, you know, winning every single game they're playing in that peppermint kit? Huh? Oh, it's Chelsea. I mean, chance would be a fine thing. But what do you think? Look, man, I'm not an old boy who wants like the really basic old school kits, but I'm not like a Gen Z. I'm a 34-year-old millennial chap, and these kits appeal to me. Is that wrong? Let me know. Also, Footy Headlines did an article on this, of course. They showed projections of FIFA with the new kits. Here is Enzo Fernandez. Let's make it a little bit bigger there. In the home kit, I was hoping you'd be able to see the accents under the arms a little bit more here. As you can see, footyheadlines.com. I think it's good. I mean, Enzo looks real angry there. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's forced to play for Chelsea Football Club. We can only assume. But look, they got the details on his tattoos, so you know he's a special player. Anyway, check out the article on Footy Headlines. I just basically wanted to talk about it. I actually think they look really good, the new ones. All three of them. I mean, I love, like, you know, the simple white away kits. I love the yellow away kits. Here in the office. Secretly, this isn't Stamford Bridge Studio. If I move forward, it just looks like a massive head. Hello, I am Big Head. I need to find a way to not lean forward so I can create the illusion that this is real. Anyway, yeah, let me know what you think of the kits, and let's move on. So, Reece James returned from England duty with a hamstring injury. We seek an update from Luke Thrower of Football.London here. Chelsea will once again be sweating over the fitness of defender Reece James ahead of their tie against Aston Villa later this week. Unai Emery's Aston Villa, which you have to say, excuse me, are now a serious team. The right back has been a key player since bursting onto the scene a few years ago, but his absences have begun to cause concerns as they become more and more frequent. The 23-year-old is often impressed with his defensive capabilities alongside his ability to carry the ball up the pitch. More like carry the team, period. Yes, so without him, it causes we're basically massively in trouble. Potter said this about Reece James. I think Reece is just a fantastic player, and he's a young player, so he's developing all the time. He'll get better and better as we go. I've really enjoyed working with him. He's a lot to offer. He could play any game in the world. He's tremendous. My job is to help him reach the potential because his potential is sky high or beyond the sky. We love him. He's so important for us. I believe he's also said he's like a world-class player, world-class talent, which we'd all agree with, and his potential can be a Chelsea legend. Of course, injuries have started to plague Reece James, and we are concerned as Chelsea fans. The freelance boss Southgate discussed the issue, claiming that James is just being cautious after previous knocks. He said this: Reece has gone back. He's not completely happy with how his legs feel. He was a little bit concerned about this earlier in the week. I think probably the injury after that ruled him out of the World Cup has made him a little bit more cautious. Precautious return. Which is kind of good because now, I don't want to say he's preferencing Chelsea because he's preferencing his health, but, you know, he could just be like, no, I want to play for England, get another cap, play against Ukraine in a competitive game. Dude is quite rightly prioritising his health, his fitness, his ability to play, his availability. The best ability is availability. And yeah, he's got to look after himself moving forwards for the long term. Naturally and understandably, we are all concerned about this. And the more, I said this on a video yesterday or the day before, as the days go by, the signing of Malo Gusto will look more and more and more intelligent, important, mandatory, whatever word you want to use. We need to just wrap this dude up and let him settle into his senior career, essentially. Dude's got like a decade left at top tier football if he looks after himself well. He's got to do just that, man, and we've got to do that with him. So that's why the appointment of Malo Gusto, but the appointment that's more managerial. Maybe he'll manage the team, who knows. The acquisition of Malo Gusto is super important. As we know, he's already been floating around. He himself is recovering from an injury, which just makes you laugh, really, doesn't it? He's been floating around Cobham trying to get acquainted with the place, and let's just hope Reece is good to go for Villa. Just because we want momentum, because even if the league is dead, you know, we're going to look flames in those new kits in the Conference League next season, should we qualify and make it. But joking aside, I'm not even joking, that's just terrible. But yeah, he needs to be ready for Real Madrid. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on Reece James, and let's move on. So, Chelsea are now deciding where we're going to play our games while we redevelop Stamford Bridge and expand the stadium, upgrade the stadium, and just make it better for fans, for fan experience, for generating revenue, for the players as well, for the profile of the club. It's a needed and necessary step for the boys, for the Chelsea boys, for the Bowley boys. And of course, it's been spoken about where we're going to play. Are we going to just stay at... are we going to go to Wembley, do what Tottenham did? They played for Wembley for, was it a season and a half, 2 seasons? That was not great for them. Wembley, the new Wembley isn't great. I don't think it is. I've been a few times and it's just not, I don't know. Also, they speak of Twickenham. Now, Twickenham is a rugby ground. I don't know if that affects how the terrain will be or the location. To be honest, I don't know much about Twickenham apart from it's Twickenham. And of course, a big one that has been spoken about is Craven Cottage, the cottage, which is very, very close to Chelsea. In fact, when I used to go to Chelsea games quite often, I'd park at Putney, the Putney Bridge tube station, which is very close to both, and I'd get one stop to Fulham Broadway. Anyway, they're very close. So it'll be great for local commuting fans. And the Cottage is a lovely stadium. If you go in the winter, you will absolutely freeze your gonads off. I watched 4-4, was it 4-4, 3-4? I think it was 4-4 Brighton versus Fulham there. And it was such a good game in the winter, but I just couldn't feel any of my extremities or my testicles. So it was so hard to enjoy because the cold air comes off the river right next to it. Why am I whinging about that? Point being, it's a great stadium, it's just very small. So what has been touted here, or what has been suggested in certain articles, is that indeed we will, and this probably sounds like the best option, we'd split the games up for like European nights. I mean, you'd have to assume, because there'll be more than 1 year, that we'd be back in the Champions League the year after next. You know, if we don't win it this season, and we're obviously not qualifying for it next, and we might qualify for Europa League and win that or whatever. It makes sense to delegate. So, for example, big games would probably be played at Wembley. Like if it was like Chelsea, Tottenham, or Chelsea, Arsenal, and we're both in the top four, and it's like a massive game or something, or like, I suppose they allocate at the beginning of the season, I guess they must do. Anyway, the big games, so like European night games, they do in the big stadiums like Twickenham or Wembley, probably say Wembley, and Wembley love making money out of events. And then maybe the smaller Prem games, like, you know, if we've got, I don't know, Burnley at home, Burnley will go up, won't they? We'll probably play it at Craven Cottage. And that's not a bad thing, man. Like, the atmosphere will be good. It'll be more cauldron-like. The Chelsea fans would, you know, obviously fill their allocation. They'd fill it, like, twice over and more, probably. So maybe the atmosphere will be good, and it's, like, a nice pitch. And, you know, Fulham are a rich club. I know the stadium is small, but they keep things nice. Yeah, and that kind of makes sense, really. So maybe the smaller profile games were at home, we play at Craven Cottage, and then the big home games would play at like a Wembley or, you know, the European nights. And to be honest, should we do that? That kind of like answers all the questions. For all these people that were going, oh, we can't play there, we can't play there. All right, we'll just do a bit of both, and we'll do what works, you know, and what's necessary when, etc., etc., etc. Let me know what you think. I actually think that's the solution, the compromise, baby. So comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts, or read your thoughts, feelings, emotions, musings, etc. Yeah. The kits. I like the kits. I do like the kits. So let me know what you think about that. Reece James, how you feeling? And of course, the stadium. I'd thank you again for joining me. I do appreciate all your continued support on the channel. It's very much appreciated. Consider subscribing if you want to, after liking the video. And if you hit the sub button, you should hit the sweet, sweet bell, baby. Oh yeah, time to end. See you later, peace.